Jewish attitudes or behaviors and so on. And the purpose of the Inquisition was to try to root out these false converts and to punish them appropriately, to act as a deterrent to other would-be converts. And incidentally, part of that punishment meant confiscation of their wealth, which was definitely something that Isabella and Ferdinand were interested in. The Grand Inquisitor Thomas de Torquemada engaged in a brutal upending of Iberian society by creating this purge-like environment where a Christian neighbor would betray a Jewish neighbor, or actually a converso neighbor, to the Inquisition. The Inquisition would arrest the converso neighbor, subject him or her to terrible tortures, and demand that he divulge the name of other conversos who were also secretly Judaizing. And under the pain of torture, this would happen, and they get a whole list of names. They would arrest those people and torture those people, and the whole purge environment rapidly spun out of control. In the space of a couple decades, it just got beyond imagination how deeply this penetrated, where churchmen were often accused of being secretly Judaizers and things like that. The Jewish community really was at a loss as to how to respond to this appropriately. Remember, the Jewish community per se was not attacked in this manner because they were not, Christians. They had not been converted, and so therefore they were still allowed to practice Judaism. But they were viewed with a tremendous amount of suspicion, especially as to the degree that they may have been aiding and abetting these conversos who were secretly studying Judaism, keeping kosher, and so on. In one notorious case, some conversos actually engaged in a conspiracy to murder an inquisitor, Pedro de Arguelles, and this sparked a lot more popular resentment at the activity of the conversos and the Jews, as you can see in this very evocative painting of the murder and the saintly visage of the inquisitor himself. But it rapidly spun out of control, and it proved to be something that Isabella and Ferdinand could not keep a lid on, but they still were faced with tremendous debts that they had to attain, they had to deal with. So just some of the examples of the way in which the Inquisition looked. In previous classes, I've given a lot of examples of the torture devices they used, which are truly horrific, and I don't want to put them in this lecture, but if you're curious, you can go back and look at my Jews of Sfarad series and see. These are three examples of San Benitos. They really were quite elaborate types of punishments, and they describe